Attorneys for Governor Andrew Cuomo are pushing back against a report from the New York Attorney General that details allegations of sexual harassment. Meantime, one of the governor's accusers.
Hello, today I present to you an extremely attractive application for music lovers. It's completely free. You can listen to music online or download unlimited music to use whenever you don't have internet. The powerful search function helps you find anything you want. Trust me. It's hard not to find what you're looking for because the search function is really powerful. Application download link is attached in the description of the video. I'm pretty sure you'll like it. Thanks.
Has filed a criminal complaint. CBS News correspondent Nikki Battiste has the latest.
Governor Andrew Cuomo appears to lie low. The heat is turning up. Just 2 days after an independent investigation concluded that Cuomo sexually harassed 11 women, one of his accusers is the first to file a criminal complaint with the Albany County Sheriff's Office. The woman, identified in the report as Executive Assistant Number 1, tells CBS News and the Albany Times-Union, "What he did to me was a crime. He broke the law." The assistant claimed in 2019 and 2020 the governor engaged in close and intimate hugs on multiple occasions, including one incident when he reached under her blouse and grabbed her breast. During another incident, while the assistant snapped this selfie, she says Cuomo put his hand on and then rubbed and grabbed her butt.
Let me be clear, that never happened.
Today, Cuomo attorney Rita Glavin says the investigators acted as judge and jury.
This investigation was conducted in a manner to support a predetermined narrative. The governor deserves to be treated fairly. This was one-sided, and he was ambushed.
The bar for criminal prosecution remains high. CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman.
You have two incidents here, one of the groping of the breast, the other of the grabbing of the buttocks. So each one carries a year in jail as a misdemeanor. It is not likely that he would spend time in jail, but it certainly is possible.
A New York State Assembly impeachment probe is underway, and Cuomo's attorneys have a week to furnish evidence. A Cuomo spokesperson says the governor is cooperating. Members of the New York State Assembly say they have the votes to impeach and that there could be a trial in about a month. At least one accuser plans to file a civil lawsuit. Elise?
Nikki Battiste, thank you. For more on this, let's bring in Josefa Velasquez. She's a Capitol reporter for the nonprofit news organization, The City. Josefa, attorneys for the governor on Friday spent time picking apart a groping allegation made by a woman identified as Executive Assistant Number 1. What's the strategy here?
So the governor's attorneys today really sought to undercut the Attorney General's investigation and subsequent report of sexual harassment allegations. And really what they pinpointed were 2 out of the 11 women that were detailed in that report. One of them, which you mentioned, Executive Assistant Number 1, what they really went at was the specificity of the date that the alleged incident occurred. So they were really trying to hone in on the fact that there were no moments in which the executive assistant could have been with the governor in mid-November. But the crucial detail that's missing from the lawyer's argument is that at no point did this executive assistant say that she was allegedly touched inappropriately by the governor on November 16th. The report says that the executive assistant said that that interaction occurred around that time, not necessarily on that specific date, which was the key thing that the investigators really tried to nail down. And also just trying to call into question the entire process itself, which the governor called for back in March. He's trying to say that the attorneys have not gotten the evidence that's underlying in this report, and that the district attorneys, 5 of them in this case in New York, and the state assembly, which is doing its impeachment investigations, have gotten this information, which sources that I've talked to said that no one has them yet because the Attorney General's office is still going through them and redacting them to be able to release it.
Did we hear any response to other accusations made against Cuomo by other women?
So there was one other accusation, which was Lindsey Boylan, and a former aide to the governor. And what the attorneys were trying to say was that the administration did not retaliate against her for releasing some of her personnel records. But really, the focus of these lawyers was very specific and very sparse, quite frankly. You have no claims against what the interaction between the governor and a state trooper that was on his detail, another woman who said that the governor inappropriately touched her without her consent. There was no mention of that. Or the other, I guess, 8 cases that are detailed in that report. They really were very specifically trying to just look at these 2 cases rather than the entire spectrum of women that have accused the governor of sexual harassment and the fact that he allegedly fostered this very toxic workplace environment. The lawyers made no mention of that at all today.
So now that this criminal complaint has been filed, what happens next?
That's a great question. I mean, the criminal complaint was filed in Albany. The governor, if the sheriff's office and the district attorney find that those claims are substantiated, could be arrested. And that is to be seen. So right now, we're sort of waiting on bated breath to figure out what happens next, because it's never happened in New York. The assembly, which is the first step in New York to start the impeachment process, is expediting that because it's very clear that the governor does not want to resign. And so the only step left is impeachment.
You touched on this before. Cuomo's legal team says it was problematic that they did not see the New York Attorney General's report before it was released to the public. Is that standard procedure?
Not usually. I mean, people who are indicted, for instance, don't get to see that indictment ahead of time. It's, sprung up on them. What they do want to see, though, is the underlying evidence. And that could take time, which the governor is clearly trying to buy himself right now as he's in the most perilous time of his career. So right now, we're really trying to wade through the waters of this very uncertain moment that we're living in with this report out there and the governor really fighting for his political future.
Speaking of that future, talks of the governor's impeachment are growing louder as he has no plans of stepping down. A governor hasn't been impeached in New York in more than a century. Walk us through what that process would look like.
So the last time a governor was impeached in New York was in 1913, and that's the only time in the state's history that has happened. So really there is very little precedent and guidance for what happens here. All that the state constitution spells out is that the first step is that the assembly votes on a resolution. If they have the majority, it passes over to the Senate. And the thing that is unique about New York is that the second that the assembly passes the articles of impeachment or the resolution for impeachment, the governor is no longer governor. He is, sidelined, and the lieutenant governor takes into that position. And while the trial is going on, the lieutenant governor is now the acting governor. And that process could, take a couple of days, take a couple of weeks, take a couple of months. There really is no precedent for this, at least in modern times. So everyone is trying to figure out, how does this process work? We've never done anything like this before.
Josefa Velasquez, thank you.
Thank you.